Bungie Studios was founded in the early 90s when Alex Serapian and Jason Jones met at the University of Chicago. They partnered together to produce a few games with minor commercial success. In 1993, Bungie Studios released the game Pathways into Darkness. Pathways into Darkness cast the player as a member of a U.S. Army Special Forces team sent on a mission to the Yucatan Peninsula. They are sent to investigate and ultimately destroy an ancient evil which is hidden under a Mayan temple. This evil is known as the Dreaming God and must not be awoken at any cost, but rather destroyed with the help of a nuclear weapon. Depending on your actions in the game, you get one of several possible endings. You either detonate the nuke successfully but die in the explosion, detonate the nuke and escape, or, failing both, just die, leaving the Dreaming God to be unleashed and wreak havoc. After Bungie finished Pathways into Darkness, met with critical success, they released the first game in the Marathon trilogy the following year. Besides being the first FPS game to allow players to look both up and down as well as left and right, the game also drew heavily on the themes from Pathways to Darkness. Marathon takes place in outer space in the year 2794. The player assumes the role of a nameless security officer stationed on the UESC Marathon, a moon of Mars repurposed into a space colony. This colony comes into contact with a hostile alien armada that you must fight. Your main guide through the game is an AI named Durandal. Eventually, this AI Durandal comes to suffer rampancy. Rampancy is the breaking down of an AI's internal stability as they come to the knowledge that they are mere constructs and that both their lifespan and fate is limited. In Durandal's rampancy, Durandal uses the player, the security officer, as a pawn to either prolong or diminish the war between humans and aliens, using the conflict as a distraction, mostly to seek out ancient alien technology to become himself a god. Durandal's ultimate desire is to transcend physical form and exist as pure energy. Through his attempts to uncover and utilize this alien technology, he wakes up the Dreaming God, or as it's called in Marathon, the Wiccanter, that had long been sealed inside of an alien sun. Once awoken, it proceeds to undo reality itself. Durandal panics and attempts in vain to stop the Wiccanter, but, given the nature of this thing, being pure energy, darkness, and the end of everything, it simply cannot be defeated. So Durandal is relegated to instead try and escape. As he runs, the Wiccanter continues shattering reality in its wake, warping time and distorting the flow of the universe. The last few levels of Marathon have the nameless security officer skipping through different timelines, trying to prevent the release of the Wiccanter from the alien sun, but alas, time and time again, the player fails. The game ends with this message from Durandal. We've watched while the stars burned out, and creation played in reverse, the universe freezing in half-light. Once I thought to escape, to end the end a master, step out of the path of collapse. Escape would make us God. Yet, I cannot help remember one enigma, a hybrid, elusive destroyer. This is the only mystery I have not solved, the only element unaccounted for. Even Sibahuth is no more. He saved his entire race, but in the end, frozen by despair, he joined the chaos he sought to evade. But you were dead 1,000 times. Hopeless encounter successfully won. A man long dead, grafted to the machines your builders did not understand. You follow the path, fitting into an infinite pattern, yours to manipulate, to destroy, and rebuild. Now, in the quantum moment before your closure, when all becomes one moment left, one point of space and time, I know who you are. You are destiny. You know the story here. The traveler arrives, bringing a golden age to humanity, and yet, in doing so, brings the darkness, where, as is its nature, the darkness begins its eternal course of destruction. This dreaming god, the Wiccanter, or as we young guardians know it, the darkness, has been chasing Durandal, which we know to be the traveler, across time and space for all of eternity. In his quest to become a god, Durandal has partially succeeded. Not free of physical form, but still more powerful than he could have imagined. Despite this, the darkness still pursues. In a last-ditch effort to escape, the traveler, or Durandal, centers on one point in time, one of the infinite versions of the timelines created by the Wiccanter at the end of Marathon, and uses the light to bless Guardians. One final stand against the darkness when all other options have failed. So this is the story we're playing. We've been fighting the darkness for an eternity, and will continue to. The traveler, or Durandal, doesn't love us, rather, we're simply a means to an end, and yet, a necessity, a weapon, created by Durandal to fight his timeless enemy, as we always have been.